this camera is never exactly in the right spot. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Mystery Mondays. Please subscribe, hit your like button, and as always, feel free to comment. I will try to comment back as soon as I get a chance. My concentration today will be on the cases of Josue Calderon of Rhode Island, Kieran Burke of Dublin, Ireland, and Morgan Heimer of Cody, Wyoming. Josue Calderon, you will likely recall, is the man whose body was found near an overhang along the Blue Ridge Parkway on the Appalachian Trail in North Carolina. Many thought that his body was that of Brian Laundrie at the time that it was found, because Brian was reported to have been spotted along the Appalachian Trail around that time. Um, According to an article by WLOS.com written on November 17, 2021, two Rhode Island men have been linked to Josue's murder. These two men had already been charged with murder in a shooting in Rhode Island. The men are Juan Rivera, 34, and Julio Castro, 34. Josue's obituary states Julio was like a brother to him, which is really sad. It appears all three men were close friends. On September 25, 2021, Rivera and Castro shot and killed 38-year-old Jorge Garcia at Roke's Cafe, might be pronounced Rocks, I'm sorry if I mispronounced that, in Providence, Rhode Island. This is the town where Josue also lived. On October 9th, Josue's body was discovered below Yadkin Overlook near Blowing Rock, North Carolina. The article does not say they have been charged with Josue's murder as of yet, but it does say both men are being looked at in connection to his murder. It seems authorities are getting to the bottom of this case. When or if Rivera and Castro get charged with Josue's murder, I will update you all on the facts concerning that. Next, while I was searching for new information about Richard Judd, who there has been very few updates on since he went missing in Yosemite National Park on July 25th, 2021, I came across an article about Kieran Burke, who was from Rathfarnham in County Dublin in Ireland. And this was an article that I had not read before concerning him. This article was published on irishcentral.com on November 26, 2021, and I believe that I covered Kieran's case the Monday of the week of Thanksgiving, but I could be wrong about that. Kieran was 44 years old when he took a vacation to San Francisco for 2 weeks in April of 2000 by himself. It has been close to 21 years since he went missing in Yosemite National Park. No trace of Kieran has ever been found in the park or any place else as far as I know. He is believed to have last been seen in Yosemite Valley at Curry Village on April 5th, 2000. He had booked a hotel room near the park from April the 4th through the 6th. When his rental car was found unattended in the Curry Village parking lot, workers in the park notified authorities he had failed to check out of his hotel on April 6th, which is why the park staff were looking for his rental car. And then he had last been seen at the hotel on April 5th as well, because he had left his hotel for a one-day hike on April 5th. So that was the last time the people at the hotel had seen him. Kieran was 6 foot tall, weighed 180 pounds. He was wearing a brown leather jacket. It's the only clothing that was given that he was wearing. His family said he was an experienced hiker and photographer who had hiked in the Himalayas. So he is most likely a very, very good and skilled hiker. But even good and skilled hikers, as I've mentioned before, can get injured very easily while they're hiking. I feel that Kieran's brown leather jacket is key to locating his remains within the park if he did meet his demise there. Yosemite National Park is on 750,000 acres, which I did not know. That is a lot of ground to cover. There's another one that I believe is pretty much 1 million acres. Okay. Anyway, and it has over 800 miles of hiking trails. Park officials asked those who were in the park from April 5th, 2000 until the time that they made their request, they asked them to check photographs and videos that they had made in the park to see if Kieran might appear in any of them. No one ever came forward with credible information which may have helped locate him. So I'm guessing there were people that turned in photographs and videos, but they looked at it and were like, no, that's not him, is what my thought is on that. Authorities believe he likely got lost or injured while hiking in the park, which, as I said, is easy to do. I don't understand this person's comment. It says BOIFYI. I must have misspelled a word, maybe. I don't know. Anyway, the next case that I'm talking about is the case, I also found several articles about Morgan Heimer, who was one of the ones that I was going to be looking into because he was my next cold case on my list. He was from Cody, Wyoming, and these articles had information that I did not know, including the clothing that he was last seen wearing. I believe the National Park Service's website simply states that he was last seen wearing a dark-colored flotation device that may have been dark blue and carrying a purple water bottle. And there is so much more information in these other articles about what he was last seen wearing. So I don't know why that information is not on there. But yes, so a lot more information, including the clothing that he was last seen wearing. He was last seen on June the 2nd, 2015 in the Grand Canyon National Park in Arizona. It covers more than one state. It goes into more than one state, I should say. At the time, he was 22 years old, 6 foot tall, weighed 175 pounds. He was last seen wearing a blue-clad, long-sleeved shirt, brightly colored shorts, though no article says what specific color his shorts were. There's like 3 different articles, I think, that mentioned that he was wearing them, that don't say specifically what color they were. Chaco flip-flops, a maroon Nike baseball cap, a dark-colored Astral life jacket, and possibly a cross necklace. And I'm going, there's been people wearing Nike shoes, Nike shirts, Nike hats, Nike jackets, or Nike stuff when you go hiking. People, it seems to be, I don't know. Just seems like that's what a lot of hikers seem to be wearing. Maybe they make good hiking stuff. I don't know. I don't really hike. I have a little, but not much. And so it was also said, oh yes, of course, he was carrying the purple water bottle. And it said he had a tattoo of a cross on his leg. Now, some of these articles show a picture of that cross. And to me, it looks to be a pretty unique design. That's just my personal opinion. Part of the information I didn't know is that Morgan was working as a guide for Tour West, which is a commercial rafting company, when he disappeared and was unable to be located. They were on day 6 of an 8-day whitewater rafting trip. Day 6 of an 8-day whitewater rafting trip. He was last seen on the Colorado River within the Grand Canyon National Park. At 4 p.m., he was, quote, seen standing with the tour group on a low cliff at the water's edge in the vicinity of River Mile 213 near Pumpkin Springs. And I had also not heard the stuff about Pumpkin Springs before. He and other guides took the tour group up the quote ended at Pumpkin Springs, by the way. He and other guides took the tour group up a side creek, then turned around to return to the boats. Morgan, however, never returned to the boats. He had mentioned taking some time off that afternoon to the lead guide, which was when they were down the creek near the end of it, fixing to turn around. Alrighty. Comments that I cannot read because they're in foreign languages, which is interesting. But anyway, so yeah. So when they were down near the end of the creek, he had mentioned taking some time off that afternoon to the lead guide, as I was saying, who thought that Morgan must have went ahead and went on break when he noticed Morgan was no longer with the group. When they had dinner at 7 p.m. that night, he failed to show up. This is Morgan. He failed to show up, and the others tried to find him, but were unable to do so. By then, it had been 3 hours. By the time they realized that he was missing, they had dinner. It had been 3 hours since he was last seen. His co-workers now realized that he was missing. He was an experienced outdoorsman and river guide who was also an excellent swimmer. And I made note of something further down. I mean, like if you're walking along a cliff and slip and fall off and hit your head and land in the river, hit your head on the way down or hit your head when you land in the river, it doesn't matter how good of a swimmer you are because you're unconscious, if you know what I mean, which is sad, but true. What was that? But yeah, he was said to have been an excellent swimmer. The sections of the river he was near run from Lee's Ferry to Lake Mead. A member of the tour reported him missing at about 8 p.m. There was another article that said at 7:26 p.m. But some of that information in that article did not seem very accurate. For 6 days, a search and rescue mission was conducted via air and park rangers, along with volunteers and search and rescue organizations, all participated in the search. They searched extensively in the river for approximately 14 miles. 14 miles, that's quite a ways. And for 4 miles along the shores of the river. Now, one of the articles only said the 4 miles part, but another one added to that. So they then scaled back the search and placed it in limited continuous mode, meaning when rangers or pilots are in that general area, they will continue to look for clues concerning his case. This other one that is further down here does not, like after the first day or two, they actually extended the land search along the shoreline of the river by 12 miles. But I'll get to that here in a minute. Read it in the exact statement that it says. It didn't show I had another viewer a while ago whenever this person said whatever it is that they said. BOM.RED. These aren't websites because people can't share links on my thing, so I don't know. But anyway, rangers did note that the water was deep and had a strong current, and that's what I was talking about a while ago. If he fell and hit his head, or even if he lost his footing, they said the water was deep and had a strong current, which made it hard to search for him, and I'm guessing that was the conditions when he went missing as well. The area was rough and overgrown with tamarisk, which I'm not real sure what that is. Some type of plant. Could be poisonous or something, I'm not sure. But they also said that it was extreme, that they were dealing with extreme heat. And I was like, in April? But I mean, it could be, because you never can tell. People who took rafting trips down the river after he went missing were given full details of his disappearance so they could let tour guides or rangers know if they spotted anything they thought might lead to Morgan, or perhaps if they saw him near the river or on its bank. However, no sign of him has been found. Searchers thought he would. Searchers thought, especially the ones who knew him and worked with him and such, thought that they would find him early on due to his skills and abilities in hiking, swimming, and survival. I just noticed that I wrote surviving in remote locations is actually what I wrote. But yeah, his survival skills and hiking and swimming abilities. The river search went from mile 211 to mile 225, so they backtracked a little because he was at mile 213. They backtracked 2 miles to look for him, while the land search covered miles 211 through 215 in the area of Pumpkin Springs, where he had last been seen. When they didn't locate him within those areas, the search, and this is the land search that I was talking about a while ago, when they were unable to locate him within those areas, the search was extended to Diamond Creek, which is 12 miles west of Pumpkin Springs. And I kind of wondered why they went in that direction, but I'm guessing that's the way that the Colorado River ran at that point. It is believed he may have fallen into the river and drowned, sadly, even though he was a skilled swimmer. I almost said sleeper. I think my son went to sleep. That's probably what the sound at the door was a while ago, or I thought it was a sound at the door. Searchers think perhaps his body got caught on a limb or rock in the river and did not surface for that reason. There are a lot of things that can happen to people while they're hiking in the wilderness, as I noted a while ago, including injuries and getting confused about the direction you are walking, especially if the sun is not up or it's cloudy or you're in a whole bunch of trees where you cannot see the sun. On a more positive note, I always like to try and throw some positive things in there for you guys. That's what my vlog was all supposed to be about to start with, right? So on a more positive note, Morgan's sister helped establish a scholarship fund in his memory for future semester at sea participants. Now, she was 15 when he went missing, and he was 22, so she's his younger sister by 7 years. But yes, she helped to develop a scholarship fund in his memory for future semester at sea participants, which sounds like a very excellent program for people who are adventurous. Something I might have liked to have participated in when I was younger, or even still, maybe. But she states this scholarship has the ability to offer a new beginning, fresh perspective, and unparalleled educational experience to a future semester at sea voyager. Hi, Izzy. The Morgenheimer Memorial Scholarship shall be awarded annually to recipients who state a spirit of adventure, love of people, or desire to experience new cultures, end quote. And I was going to give you guys the website and put it in my description thing. But when I typed in the address for it, it goes to a site that you actually have to log into or create an account. And then I think you would have to search within that. So, in order to make donations to the scholarship, if any of you are interested in that, you can do that by searching for it by name. As I stated, the address it gives that it was showing when I had the story concerning the scholarship is for general information about various causes, not his scholarship specifically. And it has a thing you need to log in or create an account, as I said, which is probably for donors and fundraisers, I think was the other option. But the information does come up when you search for the specific scholarship, which again is the Morgenheimer Memorial Scholarship, which I have listed in the description. As a reminder to those who visit national parks or other areas where missing persons have been reported, if anyone finds an item or items, including remains, they believe may belong to a missing person, or appears to have been abandoned, please leave the item or items in place where you found them. Note their location using your coordinates, take pictures, and notify the National Park Service Investigative Services Branch tip line, which you can call or text. That number is 888-653-0009 and is in my description toward the end of it. You may also email them at nps_isb@nps.gov. In my blog description, this is the instructions. I'm sorry. In my blog description, this is the instructions for found items while hiking or rafting. Next Monday, I will be looking at 3 more cases. At the moment, I plan for those to be cold cases of missing persons within national parks in the United States, unless new information develops with other cases. My dog is just sitting here listening to me. She's like, what? But anyway, be sure to check out my Thinking Thursdays blog along with other videos on my channel. Until next time, everyone have a great whatever time of night or day it is in your part of the world. Stay safe and stay positive.